Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, December 9th, and this is the Cluster API Provider Azure office hours. If you have any topics or any questions or demos or anything you'd like to add to the agenda, please add them under the open discussion area. For now, the agenda is pretty light, so we'll just get right in, and it should be a short one. So do we have anyone new here who wants to say hi or introduce themselves? I don't think so. Okay. All right. If you haven't, please add your name to the attendee list. And I guess milestone review we'll just do at the same time as this one. So I just wanted to go over, so we had said a while back that we would try to do a release on December 15th before the holidays, and then that would be 1.1. CAPI is not doing a release, like a 1.1 release until mid-January. And we had kind of defined some things that we wanted to see in the release. So at this point, there's like a good amount of stuff that's been done that's very valuable. I think that could be great to see in a release. But at the same time, some of the things that we said we wanted to do, I think mainly I'm thinking of the Azure cluster template type to support cluster class, and then making most of the Azure services async. Those two are still in progress and haven't completed. So I just wanted to see with the group what we wanted to do. We could still cut the release as planned on December 15th, and then what's in there makes the cut. And then if not, it will just have to wait until 1.2. It's possible that we'll have maybe like some of the services be async, but some of them not, but that's not a problem really. Or we could say there's no rush, so let's just do the same as CAPI and release mid-January. Just wanted to see if people had thoughts on that. Christian?
With my analogic end, I think we discussed this a while back, that we want to try to stay aligned with CAPI with releases, right? Especially in terms of numbers. So in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense to delay until CAPI releases 1.1. Matt?
That's, yeah.
Yeah, basically the same thing. I don't see any reason to rush, especially since we don't have the kind of two major features implemented fully.
Okay. I guess the only argument I would have like pro releasing next week is that we did have some improvements for AKS that were merged a while back, and there was a lot of flakiness before that improvement was merged. I forget what the exact, I think this was one of them, but so it would be nice to get that released to folks earlier, like sooner rather than later. So that's just one. Yeah, David?
Yeah, I can speak to that directly. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so in the scenario where you're building managed clusters across different regions, for example, let's imagine our tests are running in the Western US and we are spinning up a cluster in West Europe. In the scenario where our tests are running here, we're going to hit a load balancer when we go to talk to Azure, and it's going to load balance us to the closest region, right? So when we do that, let's imagine we get load balanced to Western US, and from there, we're asking Azure, hey, tell me if these VMSSs, these virtual machine scale sets, have been created in Western Europe. We have seen spiky traffic where it'll be north of 20 minutes before we find out that those resources were created. And that's what led to our tests being so flaky, is that cross-region replication of these resource metadata values were too slow, that our tests were actually it wasn't functional. So I think it's actually critical for anybody using managed machine pools to have this functionality. Whether we wait or whether we do it sooner, that's up to the group, I suppose. But it definitely is something that will make their lives a lot better.
Yeah, and just to add to that, also like we tried to backport this to 1.0, and it wasn't a clean cherry pick, and eventually we just said, since we're releasing soon, there's no point in doing the manual cherry pick. So I mean, we can always come back on that, but so I guess that would be the reason I'd say we want to release. And yeah.
So it was problematic to try and cherry pick this into a minor release or a patch release, I mean.
It just wasn't a clean cherry pick into the 1.0 branch. So we would have had to like manually resolve the merge conflicts, which we could do. We just at the time thought there was, no point in doing that since the big release was coming up. But now if we delay the big release, it's maybe more worth it. So yeah, I don't know. The other thing is in terms of what's coming next, for 1.2, I think we already have a lot just from what we had talked about in this discussion right here. I think the big one that's getting a lot of upvotes also is the Azure managed clusters, getting those out of experimental. So I would propose that be our focus for the next release cycle. Maybe along with just the cluster class, where is it? Like making sure cluster class types are in there, and then just finishing up async. But in terms of new things, the AKS work is definitely priority. I don't know if anyone had any thoughts on that or any other things that we should be looking at. It just seems like that one had a lot of support from everyone. So that being said, I'm leaning towards releasing, but I don't know. Does anyone have any strong objections, I guess, or opinions? I guess the way I see it is we need to get into the habit of doing the releases when we said we would do them, regardless of which work was not completed. And since this time we said we would do it December 15th, I think it's fair to do it then. If next time we think we should align with CAPI, we should say that ahead of time.
That's fine with me. I don't feel that strongly either way. And generally speaking, I agree with you. More frequent releases that are lower stakes is always a good way to go. I didn't realize the AKS fix was dangling out there and we couldn't put it in a patch.
Cool. All right, that sounds good. And then I guess we still have, a couple of days, so maybe some of the async work will get over the line. A lot of the PRs are open and pretty much almost there, but have been kind of in a rebase tangle. So hopefully that will move forward very fast once we unblock it. All right, so that's all I had for the release. I guess the other only point I had was just a reminder that this is our last office hours of the year, since the next one will fall, I think, on December 23rd or something like that. So I guess we'll see everyone in the new year. I know some of the maintainers are taking time off during the holidays, so if your PR is not getting reviewed as fast as usual, or if you're not getting replies, like please keep that in mind. But we do welcome PRs if you want to work on some cool stuff during the holidays, or if you have a bit of a slower time. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Does anyone else have anything to add? All right. Yeah, David, you're out after tomorrow. Okay. So
I'll be out, but if anybody, I'm not going to be far away. Like I have other stuff that I'm going to be working on, but yeah, if anybody needs anything, tag me. I'm happy to take a look and try to keep that stuff rolling.
all good. Enjoy your vacation. And I think Cheyenne is back tomorrow, so we'll lose one maintainer and gain one back. And then him and I will take care of the release next week. And then I'm out the week after that. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, happy holidays, everyone, and see y'all in the new year.
Yep. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.